Good morning, I'm Maria Silva. We are following some breaking news on the Las Vegas Strip right now. A pedestrian was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a taxi by the Bellagio. You are taking a live look right now at the scene. Police say the woman stepped out into the road right in front of a taxi against a don't walk signal in a marked crosswalk just before 1:30 this morning. The woman was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Alyssa Deach is headed to the scene right now and will have an update for us as soon as our crew gets there. But right now, Ken Smith will join us live, of course, when a big accident like this happened, especially on the Strip. A lot of road closures going on right now. What's the latest?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as police are continuing their investigation this morning out there. It may be out there till about 5:30 or even 6 o'clock. Once again, as we were just talking about, the accident happened at about 1:30 this morning. Let's take a look outside here. This is a live shot from the folks over at Fast Cameras. Perched right over the investigating scene right here along this area of Las Vegas Boulevard. So all southbound lanes along Las Vegas Boulevard are shut down right now, right here at the Bellagio. So all traffic either being diverted into the Bellagio parking garage or up there toward the valet, or the triple left-hand turn lane where the rest of the traffic is being diverted over to the Paris Hotel and Casino. So really what everybody has to do if they're traveling southbound along Las Vegas Boulevard, if you have that job, early this morning and you normally get off at Flamingo off I-15, and you take that southbound, you need to start thinking about alternate routes and kind of get around this, maybe go down to Tropicana and kind of come up from the backside. Let's take a look at our traffic graphic now, and we'll show you the area that I'm talking about. But once again, this is going to be the area where that's shut down right here in front of the Bellagio, just south of the fountain itself. There's the crosswalk that we're talking about. So all southbound traffic making that U-turn and having to head back the way they came because there's really no other way around in that area. So your alternate route, basically, just go up, go east on Flamingo, south on Koval Lane, and then Harmon, and then you can make your way either south or north to access the various casinos that are blocked off by that accident. So we'll keep a close eye on that for now, but that's the latest from over here on that accident. Everything else relatively quiet around the valley. Sam is in here this morning for Cassandra, and good morning to you.
Good morning, Ken. Yeah, not as cold this morning. That is the headline. A lot of you woke up to temperatures below freezing yesterday morning with the cloud cover over us this morning. Those temperatures are hanging in the 40s right now. In fact, 47 degrees right now at McCarran. Winds are light, very dry air in place. These clouds will be around for your morning, so we'll call it mostly cloudy as you get going for your morning commute. We'll see some breaks of sun as we head into the afternoon. 54 degrees at noon today. We'll top out at 59 degrees later on this afternoon. And this is just the start of a warming trend on the way for the weekend. We'll break down just how warm your weekend gets, plus talk a lot of 60s in that 7-day forecast. That's all coming up in just a few minutes. Maria?
All right, Sam, thank you so much. Well, we are learning disturbing new details in the shooting death of a 13-year-old boy during an attempted robbery at a smoke shop. This as the store's clerk makes his first appearance in court. Fox 5's Miguel Martinez-Valle takes a new look at the night of that deadly shooting.
This surveillance video shows 4 teens hanging out at a local gas station near Flamingo and Durango. Shortly after this video was taken, 3 of those teens would go on to try to rob a smoke shop. One of them, 13-year-old Fabricio Patti, would be shot dead by the shop's clerk, Rod Suna. The arrest report shows the teens were at a Jack in the Box. One of the teens said they wanted to go into the smoke shop to steal a bong and explained how he had done it before. The teens walked over to the smoke shop, covered their faces with hoodies and fabric. One of them held the door while 2 of them went inside behind the counter and grabbed things off the walls. That's when Suna started shooting. According to the report, Rod Suna said he believed the males were either about to rob him or do him harm. He later said one of them made a full run towards him behind the counter. Police say the surveillance video shows he was not in danger. The kids weren't armed, masked, and weren't running towards him. The autopsy said Fabricio suffered from 7 gunshot wounds, all of which were back to front. Suna was charged with open murder.
Mr. Suna is to surrender his passport to the state, which has been done this morning.
The 24-year-old appeared in court after posting his $150,000 bail. He was placed on house arrest, only allowed to go to work, church, the doctors, or his lawyers.
Please don't stick a microphone in his face, because I'm now telling you that he's not going to say anything.
His attorney, Dominic Gentile, said Suna won't be speaking, but he says nobody wanted this tragic situation to happen.
The only thing that we can be sure of at this point is that this tragedy has affected 2 families, at least 2 families.
Miguel Martinez-Valle, Fox 5 News, Local, Las Vegas.
And Sheriff Joe Lombardo says Suna had a permit to carry a gun. For now, Suna remains on house arrest. He is due back in court for his preliminary hearing sometime in January. Well, in more local news, a neighborhood in the west part of the valley is keeping an eye out for a suspect who slashed car tires in the overnight hours. People who live near Durango and Desert Inn woke up yesterday to find more than 20 tires deflated. Neighbors say the suspect hit cars on both sides of the street, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. Some people even had to have their cars towed to a tire shop to get them fixed.
Violated, totally violated. I mean, you know, where's our safety? Where's our privacy? I mean, we're going to get them. I promise you, we'll catch them.
Yeah, neighbors say they believe the suspect drove a pickup truck and used an ice pick to slash the tires. They are now working to put together a neighborhood watch. Well, the nation's top doctor is sounding the alarm on e-cigarette use among teens and young adults by releasing a new PSA to raise awareness of the consequences of nicotine exposure. In a new report, the Surgeon General is calling the battery-powered devices an emerging public threat to young people. According to the report, e-cigarettes are the most common form of tobacco use by youths in the U.S. Dr. Murthy says the bottom line is the product contains nicotine, which can potentially damage a developing teenage brain while also leading to addiction.
16% of high school students have reported using e-cigarettes in the last month, and almost 40% have tried using e-cigarettes at some point. That's actually a staggering figure, I think.
The report calls on parents and health workers to make clear the concerns about e-cigarettes to teens. It also calls on local officials to take action, which could one day eliminate e-cigarette use indoors. Well, here at home, a longtime Las Vegas firefighter was honored with a procession through the streets of the city he served for many decades. Anthony Stevens was a senior firefighter with the Las Vegas Fire Department. He passed away after a long battle with cancer last week at the age of 58. A motorcade in his honor went through downtown Las Vegas and up 95 North, then eventually to Lone Mountain Road. Here in Nevada, firefighters who die from cancer are considered to have died in the line of duty. Stevens served the department for 25 years. Well, the first American to orbit the Earth, unfortunately, has passed away at the age of 95. John Glenn is being remembered as a dedicated husband, father, and veteran. The American hero was also a longtime Ohio senator. Fox's Steve Rappaport takes a look at his lifetime of prolific accomplishments.
At the U.S. Capitol, the American flag lowered to half-staff Thursday, paying tribute to former astronaut and Ohio U.S. Senator John Glenn.
It is my sad duty to announce the passing of John Glenn.
On the Senate floor, Senator Bill Nelson, who's also a former astronaut, saying this.
America is in the planning and the developing of the rockets that will take us, a human species, all the way to Mars. John Glenn was the pioneer.
Late Thursday, President-elect Donald Trump called Glenn a hero.
He was really, to me, he was a great American hero, a truly great American hero. I met him on 2 separate occasions.
While in a statement, President Obama, who awarded Glenn the Medal of Freedom, said in part, quote, "The first American to orbit the Earth reminded us that with courage and a spirit of discovery, there's no limit to the heights we can reach together." Meantime, during a speech, Glenn's death gave former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton pause.
Senator John Glenn, a friend to many of us and a genuine American hero, passed away today.
And back on the floor of the U.S. Senate, one of Glenn's closest friends was emotional.
Coming here as a brand new senator, every time I've been asked about that, Mr. President, I've talked about the fact I came here and was sworn in with John Glenn. I get the floor.
Roger, 0T, and I feel fine.
Steve Rappaport, Fox News.
Oh, that view is...
Well, right now you're looking live at the breaking news we brought you at the top of the hour. It's happening on the Las Vegas Strip at Bellagio Drive, where a pedestrian was hit by a taxi at around 1:30 this morning. Police say the woman suffered life-threatening injuries. Ken Smith will have an update for us on the road closures. There are several road closures. He has alternate routes for you, as well as Alyssa Deach just arrived on scene after the break. We'll go ahead and check in live to see what the latest situation is on the Strip. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We do have an update to the breaking news we've been following on the Strip. Metro says a woman was hit by a taxi on the Strip by the Bellagio. Fox 5's Alyssa Deach is live at the scene. Of course, Alyssa, this is a developing story. What's the latest?
Yeah, Maria, thank you. We are here at the Las Vegas Strip and Bellagio. Let me step out of the way so you guys can see the scene here live. One police officer has just left, but you can see that the scene is still barricaded off. There is still a taxi cab inside of the cordoned off area. What we know is that a woman was injured and she is facing life-threatening injuries. We have not been able to get an update from Metro for now, but it looks like they're just now clearing the scene, so hopefully we'll be able to get an update for you soon. And Maria, it looks like this has been closed off. Since the crash happened, we have no time frame on how long this will be shut down. I know Ken Smith will be keeping an eye on the roads for us and will let us know as soon as it clears up and as soon as we can talk to somebody from Metro and get an update on the woman who was hit and what charges, if any, the taxi cab driver may be facing. We will let you know all throughout the morning. Ken?
All right. Thank you. Alyssa Deach out there live this morning on the Las Vegas Strip. And we're going to talk about some of the road closures. And just keep in mind that accident actually occurred where a taxi cab actually hit a woman in the crosswalk. But apparently reports right now coming in from Metro, at least tentative reports, is that the pedestrian was crossing against the traffic lights. So that's definitely not one of those things you should be doing as a pedestrian, obviously. And sometimes just people aren't paying attention, especially out there on the Las Vegas Strip. Right now, you're looking at this live shot. You can see the yellow tape actually draped across the intersection, which is actually essentially a crime scene, if you will, as Metro's fatal team. They actually do a thorough investigation out in this area, and they will do that in spite of the fact that the pedestrian that has life-threatening injuries is actually still alive and at the hospital right now. But they're with that life-threatening injuries, they want to investigate it, a very thorough investigation out here. So who knows how long it'll be shut down, but generally when an accident happens like this, it's usually about 3 to 4 hours how long they take. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Let's take a look at some of the alternate routes here this morning. We're talking about this area. This is going to be, once again, right here along Las Vegas Boulevard, right in front of the Bellagio fountain there. There's the crosswalk in question. Traffic right now being diverted. You pretty much just have to make a U-turn. So really the best alternate route, you just want to take this section of Flamingo over to Koval Lane, Koval south to Harmon, take that back west, and then you can rejoin Las Vegas Boulevard. That's the latest from over here in the traffic center. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Ken, thanks so much for that update. In national headlines, whiteout conditions and slick roads may be to blame for the deadly multi-car pileup that happened in Michigan. Dozens of vehicles and semis got tangled up in the mess. Authorities believe around 40 vehicles were involved in the crash, which killed at least 3 people. The area was shut down for hours as crews worked to clean up the mess and get drivers back on the road. And, of course, snowfall in certain parts of the area. Check out this heavy snowfall in Wisconsin. The thick snow flurries cut down visibility quite a bit. The snow started early yesterday and picked up throughout the day, and it won't be letting up anytime soon. Forecasters predict the snow will continue to fall through Monday. And check out all of this snow right here on Mammoth Mountain in California. Thick snow has been falling for 2 days, creating whiteout conditions up on the lifts at the ski resort. Snow and ice has also been falling in other areas along the West Coast. Up in Washington State, some drivers were stranded outside of Seattle after several big rigs crashed, blocking access to major highways in that area. And Portland, Oregon is also dealing with a brutal snowstorm right now. 7,000 homes lost power in Clackamas County yesterday, with many school districts across the state calling for a snow day. Well, here at home, it is finally time to grab your skis, sleds, and snowboards and head up to Mount Charleston. The Lee Canyon Ski and Snowboard Resort officially opens to the public at 9 a.m. Lee Canyon is also home to Las Vegas's only snow tubing hill. The resort plans to be open every day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. through March. Make sure you check road conditions, of course, before you do head up to the mountain. The snow plows should be running daily, but you can call 511, again, 511 beforehand, just to make sure that the road conditions, make sure you don't need snow tires, because that's important there if you're heading up there. Sam, thank you so much for joining us. Our lovely Cassandra taking a well-deserved day off, so you're here.
Great to be here.
Now yesterday was one of the colder days we've seen.
Much much milder this morning. In fact, about 10 degrees warmer than where we were at this time yesterday.
I like it.
Looking good, and that's the direction we're going, Maria. I tell you what, we have a very mild weekend ahead. Nice. We'll take you outside today. We have the clouds over us. You're going to notice that this morning, a bit on the overcast side. But the clouds overnight act as nature's blanket. That keeps some of the heat in, and that's why the temperature right now in McCarran is 47 degrees. Winds are light, conditions very dry outside. As we look at your commute forecast this morning, we'll keep it mostly cloudy, but certainly dry. 43 degrees at 7 a.m. 9 o'clock, we're at 49 degrees. On our way near 60 this afternoon. So there's the clouds moving over us. There is some clearing on the back edge of them over central California. So we'll start to see some of that sun this afternoon, but certainly going to be a mix of clouds and sun today. We have that flow coming off the ocean, but all the rain staying west and north of us. And with that cold air in place, you just saw some of that video up around western Washington, some snow around Seattle overnight. For us, just the clouds around, no rain, and the big headline is some warmer weather. So we're going to be warmer than yesterday, mid to upper 50s around the Las Vegas Valley. We'll go 55 in Summerlin, 56 Summerlin South, 56 degrees in Centennial Hills today. As we go to the Northeast Valley, Nellis checks in at 59, 60 for Sunrise Manor in downtown Las Vegas, 59 at the Springs Preserve, and 60 degrees at UNLV for today. For the Southeast Valley, Green Valley Ranch checks in at 57, 58 for Silverado Ranch, 59 in Lake Las Vegas. For the Southwest Valley, that mix of clouds and sun. Again, a little more sun working out for the afternoon at 57 for Rhodes Ranch, 56 in Southern Highlands. And outside the Las Vegas Valley, those high temperatures mainly hanging in the 50s. Laughlin, though, much warmer, 67, and the winds finally giving you a break, Laughlin. It's been a windy couple days for you, but much calmer conditions for your Friday. 58 in Pahrump, 60 for Mesquite, and Kingman, you're checking in at 59 degrees. So look at these temperatures. When you look at so much of the country so cold, we're going to be the envy of the nation with this week of weather. Mid-60s for your weekend. Again, partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will be in and out, but no rain. We keep it dry through most of next week as well, up to 67 Wednesday. Our next chance at showers beyond the 7-day. Friday next week, we could see a few raindrops creep back into the valley. Maria?
All right, Sam, loving those 60s out there, especially the 67 on Wednesday. All right, guys, well, it may be chilly outside, but things are really heating up at the box office. The Baywatch team is headed to a theater near you, and we are getting a first look at the new Baywatch movie starring Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron.
Our team is the elite of the elite. We're the heart and soul of this very beach.
Why does she always look like she's running in slow-mo?
You see it too?
The new movie trailer features explosions, gunfights, and of course a lot of skin. You can watch Dwayne Johnson, Zac Efron running in slow motion when Baywatch surfs into theaters next year in May. Well, coming up, congratulations are in order for Sir Mick Jagger. This morning, the Rolling Stones frontman is back on daddy duty after welcoming a new baby. Also coming up, collecting Disney memorabilia has never been easier, where you can pick up a piece of Disney history today. That's coming up. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. 4:23 on this Friday morning. We can't thank you enough for joining us. A little Snow White. We're off. If you're heading off to work, we do have Sam in to tell you what you can expect weather-wise. And if you're sending off the kids to school, we'll let you know if they really need to bundle up. Of course, we're listening to the song from the Seven Dwarfs from Snow White because of this. Disney fans, your day is here. You can snatch up your own piece of Disney history in a rare auction. There are items from Cinderella, Dumbo, and so much more. We see there The Grinch as well, and I Dream of Jeannie. Animation and Disneyland auction, that's what it's called. It's happening today. There are even documents signed by Walt Disney himself. More than 600 items will hit the auction block today in Los Angeles, California. Well, you've also got a magical chance to get your hands on a rare Harry Potter relic. An original manuscript of the book, The Tales of Beedle and the Bard, will hit the auction block next week in London. The book is a collection of stories Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling penned back in 2008. This is one of only 7 manuscripts of the book that exist in the world. It's expected to sell for at least $300,000. Only $300,000. All right, guys. Well, one of the founding fathers of rock and roll will be rocking a cradle for the next few months. Mr. Mick Jagger just welcomed his 8th child, a healthy baby boy. The Rolling Stones frontman's new son was born yesterday. The 73-year-old rock legend has 7 other children that range in age from 17 to 46 years old. This is his first child with 29-year-old ballet dancer Melanie Hambrick. The couple has been dating since 2014. Mick Jagger is also a proud grandfather to 5 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. Congratulations to him. Well, coming up, a local family is putting their neighborhood to shame with their over-the-top Christmas display. Here's a little sneak peek. We'll tell you where you can go to check out this amazing holiday display. That's coming up.